Okay, so a moment ago we were talking about drugs. Do you think that the use of drugs is directly related to demons? Or do you think using drugs opens portals to demons entering you? Or what are your thoughts on that? On drugs in general?
You are kidding. You are kidding.
No.
You know my answer.
No, I don't.
Yes, of course.
If I knew it, I wouldn't ask you.
I understand. Of course. It's one of the main factors that I deal with in getting rid of demons. And
how do you distinguish between the drugs is a very broad term. There's all kinds of drugs. There's drugs that can help lower your cholesterol. There's drugs that can help you enter another dimension. How do you distinguish which drugs are related to the devil?
Let's just talk about street drugs. Or weed, which used to be a street drug.
Okay, but weed is a plant. It's grown out of the ground.
I cast more demons out of people from smoking weed than anything else. You want to know why?
What makes weed so demonic?
Google Shiva and marijuana.
Okay, let's look it up, Steve. Shiva and marijuana.
Mm-hmm. So there's three main gods in Hinduism.
Correct.
All right. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva.
Lord Shiva is associated with marijuana.
Destroyer.
Is associated with marijuana because he consumed bang to alleviate the pain after drinking the poison hala hala during the churning of the ocean. He was using it to alleviate seasickness.
But there is a multi-millennial tradition in the East, and particularly in India.
Okay, here it says in Hindu festivals such as the Shiva Ratri, devotees consume marijuana as a form of praising to Shiva, or as a form of praise to Shiva, symbolizing their love and devotion. So where is the evil stuff here?
Shiva.
Shiva's evil?
Is the Lord of death and destruction.
Oh, really?
That's what he's known as.
Oh.
Now, of course, philosophical Hinduism has ways to try to
so it's like the Hindu devil
to get around that, but he is the Lord of death and destruction.
Okay.
Okay.
So Shiva, Steve, can you find out like Shiva's what does the Google call Shiva? I'm assuming it's the Hindu devil.
Well, no, Shiva is a Hindu god, but you will see pictures if you look far enough of Shiva smoking ganja or marijuana or cannabis.
Okay.
He's the god of destruction. See it?
Where does it say that? Oh, Shiva is known as the destroyer within the Trimurti, the Hindu Trinity.
Do you remember what Oppenheimer said when the first atomic bomb went off?
Destroyer of worlds, I am
become Shiva. Now
that was a Shiva quote.
The film changed it a little bit. They didn't tell you the truth.
That was from the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yeah. But his exact words are, I am become Shiva, destroyer of worlds.
That's what he actually said?
That is what he actually said.
Who changed it?
Huh?
Who changed it to I am become death?
Oh, they political correctness.
Really? Fine. We gotta find this.
But you could find it.
I didn't know this.
Okay.
Scroll up, Steve. It's telling you in the AI. Oppenheimer did not actually say, I am become Shiva, destroyer of words. The quote is known for I am become death, destroyer of worlds. The phrase comes from the Bhagavad Gita, the sacred Hindu text. Oppenheimer recalled thinking of this verse during the Trinity nuclear tests, the first detonation of a nuclear weapon.
But the point is, I'm become death. I am become Shiva. Shiva is the Lord of death. Same thing.
Right, but he didn't write I am become Shiva. He wrote I am become
Well,
death.
some say that he did, and I don't know what text you're pulling from there, but there's a bit of a dispute over that.
This is AI, I think. This is the Google AI.
Okay, but my point is, when someone comes to me and tells me that for a long period of time they've been smoking weed, I'm going to say over 50% of the time I can call forth the demon Shiva.
But what about all the...
I'm just telling you.
What about all like the people that come back from war with PTSD and all these mental illnesses and these hypervigilance, these issues that they're having, and they're literally prescribed weed and it alleviates weed, CBD, all these things that alleviate their stress.
Wait a minute.
They bring them back to normal.
Wait a minute.
And save their lives.
Wait a minute. You're talking about the difference between somebody who's under medical care, medical supervision, who's being administered a drug.
Sure.
Could be any kind of drug.
It's a drug that comes out of the earth.
Exactly.
God-given plant.
Well, no, wait a minute. If it's used properly by the proper people for the proper purposes. Okay? So if you've got a doctor...
Does it say that in the Bible?
If you've got a doctor who is administering any kind of drug, which has psychotropic qualities, and that doctor is ministering certain dosages under his supervision,
right,
that is very different than a 15-year-old kid buying stuff off the streets that's been laced with God knows what. And that's what I deal with. Okay? That's a very different scenario.
Okay, but there's a difference here. You're talking about a 15-year-old kid buying something off the streets who is most likely is involved with crime, bad parenting. There's a lot of shit going on here.
Exactly.
You can't cherry pick the marijuana out of there and say the marijuana is demonic because there's all kinds of other influences going on here.
I ask the demon under penalty of judgment by the Holy Spirit to tell me, how did you get there? And he laughs and he says, weed.
He says weed?
Yeah.
Then why did God put weed everywhere?
Wait a minute. But by that he means the illicit use of it. So
okay,
heroin as a narcotic,
poppy,
used in a proper derivative form, as an analgesic, as some form of medication. What is morphine?
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. But if it's under a doctor's care and supervision, and the quantification of it, and the regularity of it.
What if that person doesn't have the access to a doctor?
They want to play Russian roulette with their mind? That's a very dangerous thing to do. Okay?
Is that the devil, if you don't have a doctor prescribing it?
It could just be them. Could be a lot of things. I'm just telling you. I'm an exorcist. This is what I deal with. This is the ugly truth about what's going on. And this is where the devil works in the lives of a lot of young people today. And I see it every day.